Hello there, and welcome to Inspire Insight, a podcast dedicated to help navigate and sustain you in this journey we call life. With your host, Mr. T, coming to you every day with various topics to inspire you as you take on each day. Basically, this is supposed to be the voice in your head that can be heard. So, you ready? Then let's go. So, on today's topic, as we begin this journey on Inspire Insight podcast, I would like to treat all of you to one of my favorite topic called gratitude. And it's very important that we understand this as we walk in the journey called life in each day. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Then after those questions, we can basically enter the angle of what gratitude is and how it plays a major role in our lives in every given day. So first off, how many times do we look down on ourselves, or better still compare ourselves to life's measuring tape? Also, what is the level of inadequacy that you see yourself in? What is the aspiration level you seek to achieve? And lastly, who do you seek to become as a person? These questions are basically questions we normally ask ourselves when we are doing our reflections. In many cases, we do get responses to these questions. In some cases, we look elsewhere for that kind of recognition or somebody to tell us that we are good enough or that kind of appreciation. But here, gratitude plays a role in all these questions because gratitude, as you know, is self. It doesn't have a lot to do with the other party. But we tend to confuse it to think that it's actually us, or we are looking for somebody to be grateful to us before we feel appreciated. So first off, what is gratitude? If you look down or you do your own research, you realize that gratitude is actually defined as simply the quality of being thankful or to show appreciation for something. But I like this definition better. Restate: taking great pleasure in the simplest things and acknowledging everything you receive from others. This is quite significant. There is an angle of great pleasure in there, in simplest things, so not complicated stuff, and also acknowledging everything you receive from others. So gratitude is the needed fuel that a person needs to have to keep going on every day. Once you wake up in the morning and you feel grateful for yourself that you're alive, it's a start. At least you've rekindled yourself that regardless of how the day goes, you know that you woke up in the morning. That in itself, meaning that you are counted amongst the living. In my own slang, I call it the divine selection. It's good and it's great for your purpose in that given day. Now, it is hard to push through in life when you can't simply appreciate the progress you have made, no matter how insignificant it is. So you look at yourself right now and where you are comparing yourself to others and you realize, I'm not there yet. It's very difficult to move on. Basically, you're looking down on yourself. So we understand, or let me say, I understand where you come from when it's very difficult to push through in life. When you are grateful for everything, whether it's good or bad, that comes your way, it is also very difficult to give up and let go. So you see the contradiction here. If you are not grateful, it's very difficult to move or push on in life. However, if you are grateful for everything, whether the good or the bad, it tends to be difficult also to give up in life, to think that, okay, there's nothing can happen and I am here and I cannot move on or I cannot go on. Look at your life right now. Everyone was born a baby. I don't think no one was born already matured or an adult. The number of years that have gone by and the number of things that you've been through and you are still here, what does that tell you? Just assess right now. Take a deep reflection of how long you've been on earth since you're a baby and you are still here. Basically, this also means that there is more to be done. Hence, you keep going. At the point of being grateful for how far you've come, you see that this is not all that bad. Because you woke up in the morning, some didn't make it, you did. That means you are not done yet. And just like our 5 fingers that you see, they are all not the same. They have got different heights. However, each finger has a role that they play. Even there's one that is linked to even marriage that they call it the wedding finger, whatever it is, or the ring finger. They all play their roles. There's the thumb, which is bigger than all the fingers. It plays its role. The pointing finger and whatnot. So you need to assess your life that at every given time, whatever that you've been through, whatever that you are going through, it has a purpose to lead to a bigger or greater thing. Everything is connected. But your first step into moving into that light is being grateful for what you have and for where you are. That is your first step. If you are able to find out that, yes, I'm grateful, I thank God that I'm here now, that is significant. At least, I'm not going to put a percentage on it, but at least you've gone far. Then you move to the next level, which is actually recognizing people who've played a major role in your life. At times we take this for granted, but the more you recognize people and you are grateful for them, for the role they play in your life, it has an effect on you. People in our lives who have played a role have to always be recognized, and that is a sign of gratitude. Now, when was the last time you appreciated somebody who basically is always there for you? You hang out with a friend, family member, a partner. When was the last time you actually said thank you? Somebody who listens to you is always there. You call, they can respond to you, send a message, they can respond quickly to you. A friend? We take this for granted. We think, okay, fine, it's part of their job. No, it's not part of their job. It's not part of their JD. That to be your friend, they have to be there for you constantly. There are friends who are basically, we call them ad hoc friends. You call them when you need something, or they call you when they need something. Apart from that, there's no communication. But once the call comes, there's a relationship that exists. And there are people who are always constantly there for you. But when was the last time you said thank you to them? Where you are right now, it can't all be about you. There have been people who have opened doors for you. There have been people who have basically recommended you. And there have been people who have taught or developed or trained you one way or the other. Every experience that you go through in life is a lesson, whether it's good or bad. And those experiences, normally you don't go through alone. Somebody or someone plays a role in that. So if it's a bad experience, still say thank you to the person because you learned your lesson and you're not going to repeat it. If it's a good experience, thank you once again because you're going to be a better person and you know how to basically do something through that experience. So gratitude is basically in several phases. There's gratitude to God, there's gratitude to yourself. That's where you are now, acknowledging that bit. And also there's gratitude to people around you who always basically are there to show that they are established for you. Now, the psychological perspective of gratitude spans in 3 phases. Basically, the emotion, whereby gratitude is often experienced as a fleeting emotion when one receives a gift, favor, or whatever it is. That's the emotion bit of it. And there's the trait aspect of it, which is the second one. That's some people who have a more enduring disposition to feel grateful across various situations. The last psychological perspective is the mood. This is when gratitude can also be more sustained mood that colors one overall look. So there are people you see that always they are grateful for the little things that come to them. They are always basically grateful for it. So you don't understand they're saying thank you to you almost every time. It's something that you don't actually understand. But to end this basically famous topic on gratitude, there are some challenges and misconceptions when it comes to gratitude. The first one is gratitude versus indebtedness, whereby You see gratitude as a positive emotion, and also feeling indebted to can lead to negative feelings and stress. So the fact that I'm grateful for what you've done for me doesn't necessarily mean that I'm indebted to you. That is one of the misconceptions. It's important to be able to distinguish between the two. To owe somebody doesn't mean, so there's this phrase that normally we say, I owe you my life, I'm grateful. No, that's two separate things. To be grateful is not the same as to be indebted to somebody. So let's try to distinguish the two. The second one is that emphasis on positivity. Focusing solely on gratitude can sometimes lead to the suppression of negative emotions, and that is not healthy. So, as I said earlier on, it can be bad and it can be good. So it's not all about focusing on the positives always, that if you are grateful for the positive. You need to balance this, that even if there's something negative, something bad that has happened to you, you still need to be grateful for it, because at least there's an experience that has been drawn from it. Okay? So, in conclusion, what I want to say here is that some doors cannot open without you being grateful or without the act of gratitude. Never forget this. And in the same contrast, there are some doors that have been closed based on the act of gratitude. So you couldn't get to where you were supposed to get to because you failed to acknowledge that act of gratitude or being grateful, whether it's self or to another person. And there are some doors that have opened because you woke up that one morning and said, yes, I'm grateful for where I am. And you woke up one morning again and said, yes, I'm grateful for what I've achieved, whether it's positive or negative. So your psyche in that given day or that morning is already positive, and no matter what happens within the day, you've told yourself, you look into the mirror and say to yourself that, yes, I can do this, and yes, this is possible. So today, I just want you to look at yourself in the mirror when you are doing your self-reflection and tell yourself that, am I grateful? Am I saying the right things that I'm supposed to say? And if you believe that you are grateful, then you're on a good path to achieving greatness. Many thanks for listening. And always, we have another insightful episode coming up next week to help steer you in this journey. So stay tuned. And until then, I have been your host, Mr. T. Let's continue to have a lovely life. No matter what hits you, remember, you are alive for a purpose. Thank you.